Good afternoon, dear friends. I am Sikandar Khan and I will deal with the geography PT questions for 2021. You know very well PT is approaching. Therefore, questions in your mind that good quality question anyhow we have to deal with, and approaches regarding to deal with the question. That is second important point, that how best way to handle the question. How can we get in optimized manner the answer, right answer without committing blunder, without committing mistake. Because lots of efforts you have done and your efforts will not be futile if you just go through the conceptual way, and also you can say with the facts and figures, obviously, because you have done lots of hard work for that. Next, IAS has initiated one significant program regarding it, that is PT through questions, in which through live session, that is important, through live session will assure you to deal your query simultaneously while dealing with the question tackling issues through the prominent faculties there, and it will be very effective way, because not only you will be getting good quality questions based upon last year exam, but simultaneously you will be having the discussion and live session as well. And if we start with this part, the geography session, then you know very well geography is basically dealt with map and diagram. Map and diagram very key thing here, and we will take up the approach diagram and map with elimination round methods. And for example, the first question with reference to earthquake, consider the following statements. The point where the energy of the earthquake is released is called focus, and the point on the surface is called epicenter. Then you know it very well that any diagram that will be crude diagram you may draw on the paper as well, and you know it very well that earthquake always occur beneath the surface, that we call focus, and this point just above the focus where impact of earthquake is felt, that we call epicenter. Then from focus lots of waves also released, and these waves are propagating here, so it is the triggering point, focus. So here it is mentioned that focus is triggering point, and the point on the surface above that where we feel the damage here, that we call epicenter. So this is the right statement here. And second is intensity of an earthquake is measured by Richter scale and magnitude through the Mercalli scale. Second statement you have to read twice, that here it is mentioned that intensity of an earthquake by Richter scale. Here Richter scale is not for intensity, rather magnitude. Which magnitude? Energy release. This particular scale is actually used seismic waves which are releasing the energy through the focus, and then we measure this earthquake through the seismic waves, seismogram, and then we prepare Richter scale, that is energy release magnitude. But here it is mentioned intensity. Intensity is rather measured by Mercalli scale. So it is intensity based, not magnitude based. Intensity or damage by Italian seismologist Mercalli. So it is incorrect. So famous scale, Richter scale, is for magnitude, and modified Mercalli scale or Mercalli scale for intensity or damage. And there is no shadow zone with respect to P wave. So if we talk about here that statement also elimination round, that two statement is incorrect, then neither this one nor this one, and you can say the 1, 2 and 3 also, 2 is not possible here because 1 is correct here. So we can consider that statement could either be A or B actually. So let's see whether it would be A or B here, because first is correct. There is no shadow zone with respect to P wave. You note very well that once waves are moving, suppose it is the significant wave S wave and one more wave the P wave, then you would realize that S wave by nature is trying to avoid one liquid part that we call outer core. It is suppose mantle, it is outer core, then S wave from focus will avoid that S wave. But P wave is able to penetrate because it is a faster wave, powerful wave, outer core as well. But inner core is solid in nature, due to high pressure it is also going like that. So P wave is definitely able to penetrate the outer core, inner core, but a gap is created here, and this gap we call shadow zone. And from epicenter from 104 degree to 140 degree almost. So neither P wave is recorded nor S wave is recorded. So shadow zone is one concept in which seismograph is unable to pick the either P or S wave. So here it is mentioned there is no shadow zone with respect to P wave, चाहे P wave हो और S wave shadow zone होगा उनका, so that is incorrect here. So third is incorrect. So only A option is left for us. That is correct. So answer will be A here. Now come to the second question here. Then second question is, consider the following pairs related to various oceanic features. Oceanic features, either continental shelf, abyssal plain, continental rise, mid-oceanic ridges, and the pairs which are correct or you can say correctly matched here. Which how many pairs here? Correct here. So again I would advise taking the same approach, diagram based. So you can consider that here the question is based upon the ocean. Suppose it is our coastal land and it is our water. But beneath the water we have shallow area, continental shelf area, and then slopy surface, continental slope. Then we have continental rise, little bit rise here. Then again we find the deep ocean floor including trenches like Mariana Trench or oceanic ridges like that. And if we talk about that this kind of name here, this particular part is called as continental shelf. This part we call continental shelf, very close to the coastal line, full of life in that area, coral structure in tropical water as well. And this area we call continental slope, this one, slopy surface. Then continental rise here, this part far away from the coastal line, continental rise. Then we will be having the deep ocean floor including trenches, abyssal plain. Now after this diagram, either this diagram you draw in crude way on the paper itself or in your mind as well, and then try to correlate the question first. Continental shelf, presence of submarine canyon. Suppose you don't know anything regarding it, you need not to waste your time on first statement. Come to the second statement here. Abyssal plain, huge deposit of terrigenous sediment. Abyssal plain, huge deposit of terrigenous. This word terrigenous, it is key word here, terrigenous. Then terri or terra is Latin term, and generally if you just stop on terra, then terracotta, मिट्टी के बने बर्तन, or you can say terrestrial or territorial. So basically in Latin the meaning of terra is earth or ground. Earth or ground. And here the abyssal plain is far away from the coastal land. It is the ground. It is coastal line this side. So no question that ground material will reach to the abyssal plain here. So huge deposit. It is not only minor deposit, rather huge deposit. So here abyss is also an English term that means deep, quite deep, abyss. So far deep area of the ocean we call abyss, and abyssal plains are having huge deposit of terrigenous or earth-based continental material, not possible. So this is wrong statement. So second statement is wrong. So second you can eliminate, second is here as well. So B is incorrect, as well as the C, that is also incorrect, and D is also incorrect. Then automatically you got you can say 1 and 4. So even 1 or 2 statement reading will make sure that your answer could be correct. But you need to keep the patience. All of a sudden you can't discard the question, okay, I don't know. This risk you have to take because you already have gone through the basic portion, current affairs a lot, and lots of preparation a sincere candidate has done before the examination. So they must keep their calm and they must try. एक ट्राई मस्ट बी, एक तो ट्राई किया जाए कि चलिए कोशिश की जाए दिस क्वेश्चन. एंड कॉन्टिनेंटल राइज, थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इफ आई इवन रीड हियर, zone of extensive sea beaches. Continental rise is very close to abyssal plain and here sea beaches. We don't know anybody has gone to sea beaches beneath the ocean after diving. People go to the beaches, either Goa beach or Mariana beach or Miami beach in Florida. So many beaches are there, French Riviera beach in the European region, but in continental rise beaches are there. That is also indicating a question mark. All of wrong. So third is wrong. If you say third, then automatically 1. Mid-oceanic ridges, zone of divergence of plate zone. You know, some plates moving in this side, opposite side, divergence that we call magma is rising. Why I am saying that okay, answer is A, but still I am discussing all 4 options, because once you appear in any test, you need not to find out only the right answer. it's my humble request to all of you, you have to go also for one more thing, reading all the options. Reading all the options will make sure conceptual clarity of that part. At least you will be having more knowledge before taking up your exam in the examination mode, you can say. So that will be a kind of time nowadays that you can read all four statements, you can learn through these statements as well, and you can then use that knowledge later on in exam as well. So you can say that this part continental shelf, obviously if this 1 and 4 is correct, then it is correct statement. And continental shelf and continental slope, we observe that due to some terrigenous material, some drilling and some canyons are there. Canyons are not only on the land, just like Grand Canyon by Colorado River in the USA, but canyon also seen in continental shelf and continental slope by certain kind of currents developed there, cutting it, drilling it, creating the deep canyons in slope area, and also you can say very close to shelf area as well. This one is correct. And fourth, definitely correct. Actually, elimination round with diagram with the best strategy to deal the question in geography kind of question, or many more questions through diagram approach with the elimination method. And if we come to the third question as well, then the third question, if we focus upon, then third question, with reference to the phenomenon of inversion of temperature, consider the following statements. Temperature inversion, the question is there, ground surface inversion requires cloudless and clear sky with long winter night. That is the first statement here. So first of all, you must revise your concept of temperature inversion. I am sure you know little bit about temperature inversion. Normally, which kind of temperature changes we observe with the height? You will say with the height, temperature starts decreasing. We go to the mountain, temperature is lower than the land. So you can say with the rising in the air, temperature decline, and number of reasons are there. The expansion of the air, cooling of air, and also greenhouse gases are more near the surface. Earth is getting warmer from the surface. So we all know that any given area, we go with the height, temperature decline. Then which fundamental rule we all are aware of? Height and temperature inverse relationship, altitudinal way, the temperature will decline. And then if warm air will be here, definitely it will be cool and cool above, like that. So warm, cool, cold, like that. And one kind of rate is there, ALR, environmental lapse rate, that every 1 kilometer height, 6.4 degrees Celsius temperature decrease. So we observe this kind of rule as well. हर 1 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई पर 6.5 डिग्री तापमान में गिरावट दर्ज की जाती है. दैट इज वेरी फेमस स्टेटमेंट फॉर द टेम्परेचर, यू कैन से. ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी, it is possible in special circumstances that temperature declining with the height could be reversed, and we can observe the temperature inversion. But temperature inversion is which kind of thing? Temperature inversion or inversion of temperature, this temperature inversion is that condition rather than decline in temperature with the height. If we see opposite, that cool air below and warm air above. If this condition persists, cool air up below, warm air above, it is the temperature inversion. Cool near the surface, warm air above the surface. How this could happen here? This may happen if land will release lots of heat during the night. And night duration if more, then this heat release through outgoing radiation will be more. And I am sure you know that in winter time, too much cold condition prevail. Nowadays as well, Jan month is going on, and Feb also we can say, and you can say ground surface inversion, that ground will release through outgoing radiation cooling. And long winter night, this part will be too cold, having sufficient time, then this land could be too cold. And the kind of, you can say radiation have gone up and making this condition the kind of cold condition below. But if we don't have any cloud, because clouds are blocking the outgoing radiation. Suppose it is clear sky, no cloud is there, then radiation will easily going to the space without any hindrance, obstacle. Then definitely it will lead to more and more cooling with the night time, and then it would be colder, but upper side getting the radiation, it could be slightly warm, and this condition we call the temperature inversion requiring cloudless, no you can say, or clear sky condition. Clear sky, cloudless, एक ही बात हो गई, and also long winter night. So this statement is correct that we can observe the inversion in cold winter nights with clouds or without cloud, clear sky. And second statement is what? Frontal inversion is more prominent in the tropical region of the world. Actually, front is one concept. You must be aware of that. Front is what? One term frontal inversion has been given, in which frontal is given. You know it very well that suppose it is our earth, two kind of winds in this side. One is polar cold air, cold polar air, or cold air mass from the polar region, and from temperate area it is warm air, you can say. So generally we observe that contrasting air masses, cold warm ones, meet in around high latitude like 40 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, then chance of that cold air being denser in nature, cold air by nature is dense and warm air is light. If you allow light and dense air to come closer, light air has tendency to rise and cold air has tendency to sink. So in that condition, cold air will sink like that, cold will trap here, and warm air will rise like that. So this condition, cold and warm, and in front of that a kind of boundary will be generated that we call front, where cold and warm will not meet, rather a boundary will be maintained. So cold versus warm, if they meet in high latitude, they can't meet all of a sudden, there would be a boundary between that, and this boundary would act like a front where enemy-like forces fight against each other. Cold will come downward, hitting from the bottom, and warm is rising like that. Cyclonic conditions start even. That we call the front. So it is middle latitude condition, not the tropical. It is wrong statement. It is correct. So one is correct, second is incorrect. And frontal inversion means cold below, warm above. Inversion is also happening there. So this statement is here. Tropical condition can't be here, rather than temperate or high latitude. So that is wrong. So second is incorrect. Second is incorrect. This is also incorrect. That is also incorrect then. And now option either A and 3. And 1 is correct. So only 1. A is the answer. If you see 3 as well, temperate inversion causes disappearance of the prevailing fog and frost condition. You know very well that temperature inversion time, cold air below near the surface, it is helping in fog formation. It is helping in frost condition of pala. तो जनरली कोल्ड विंटर नाइट में आप देखेंगे पाला पड़ता है, फॉग होता है, तो अपीयरेंस हो रही है. तो जनरली भी से टेम्परेचर इन्वर्जन कंडीशन बन गई है. कभी कभी अर्बन एरिया में स्मॉग भी हम कह दें टेम्परेचर इन्वर्जन. तो कोल्ड एयर के साथ में ये स्मोक वगैरह मिल जाएगा. सो दैट वी स्मॉग, फॉग, लाइक दिस कंडीशन, फ्रॉस्ट. So that is not the disappearance, rather appearance. So it is also wrong. So only option A is correct. So your knowledge, basic knowledge will help a lot. Your elimination method will also help a lot. Plus the diagram, that will be wonderful tool to decode the geography questions. So friends, here I will advise continuously that please adopt the approach of diagram drawing and keeping diagram in your mind as well while making the notes. Some key diagram will be very much useful to you. Make the crude diagram, not the perfect diagram, but try to solve through the diagram these kind of questions. You can say minimum chances of the blunder if you just draw the diagram. And if we talk about the next question in that manner, and next question, if I say the 4th number question, then you will realize here that question here with reference to the tropical cyclone. Cyclone is also like earthquake, very important topic, and here tropical cyclone, not the temperate cyclone. And tropical cyclone, if I say tropical cyclone, cyclone by nature, whenever cyclone or storm or thunderstorm, hailstorm, any kind of storm, cyclone term is used, it is nothing but low pressure area, intense low pressure area. And in case of tropical cyclone, it is developed on the warm ocean. So it is low pressure area. And along low pressure area, you know, some winds come to fill this low pressure area, and due to Coriolis force, they turn to this way in northern hemisphere, anti-clockwise rotation. That is very general kind of diagram of the cyclone. And here what is mentioned here, tropical cyclones are low pressure region surrounded by high pressure. So this statement is correct. Low pressure area, tropical cyclone surrounded by high pressure where winds are trying to converge here. So one is correct. So A, B, D, all three could be there, but C can't be. Then tropical cyclone generally moves west to east in the northern hemisphere tropical region. Here west to east or east to west, we don't know, north to south, but you may have example, you may have some diagram. For example, if I say here that whether they go west to east or not, then one kind of map of India, suppose crude map of India, you consider in your mind, and you know it very well that Indian area, certain times Amphan cyclone, super cyclone or phony cyclone, those hit in Bay Bengal surrounding to the Indian coast. Suppose Bay Bengal, this water, here low pressure area, cyclone develop, which thing you realize? And these cyclone normally hit to which side? Certain times Tamil Nadu coast, certain times Andhra coast, Odisha coast, Bengal coast. Where they are going? East to west or west to east? They are moving actually east to west. And what is the reason they are moving east to west rather than west to east? Because certain kind of winds are there. Suppose India is here, trade winds are there in that surrounding, those are moving east to west, northeast trade winds. So certain trade winds will push that. So here it is given west to east, it is wrong. It is east to west actually, caused by which factor? The trade winds, either hurricane from Gulf of Mexico to the coastal area of the USA, or typhoon to South China Sea to, you can say, Chinese and Japanese coast or Philippines coast or Vietnam coast, any kind of tropical cyclone. So second is wrong. So if we talk about second is wrong, then this possibility, you can say it is not possible, it is already not possible, it is not possible. Already we have considered first statement is correct, then C was not there, and second is incorrect. Then these two can't be, only one remaining there. Even you read third one, to get your knowledge here. The main driving force behind the tropical cyclone is the tidal force. Tidal force, friends, very weak force. Neither it can cause any damage to the plate, or nor it can create the cyclonic kind of condition, those are disaster. However, the latent heat of condensation is the main force that we call while developing the cyclone. Suppose it is the warm ocean, temperature is more than 26 degrees Celsius. In warm ocean, air will rise, then creating the low pressure here, but this air of the ocean will be moist enough, will be condensed, and then condensation will lead to cloud. But during cloud formation through condensation, water vapor change into water droplet, lots of heat is released, and this heat is enough to rise air further and taking air more and more upward and keeping very low pressure area below and maintaining the cyclone from surface surrounding. जितना प्रेशर लो होता जाएगा, एयर राइज होती जाएगी लेटेंट हीट से, उतना ही air will converge and will try to fill that part, but Coriolis force will make it rotatory motion in that zone. So it is incorrect that tidal force can't be like that. Second, third incorrect, first is correct, only A option is correct here. And if we come to the next question, let's see the next question also. In next question, the topic is with reference to Western Ghats. Western Ghat, Indian hilly zone along the Arabian Sea, and you need not to draw the entire map. For South India, if they have asked the question, then think in your mind V shape. This one is enough for you. V shape of India, then you can make this kind of line for Bay Bengal surrounding, for Gujarat surrounding, a M kind of shape you can draw in that way, and this map is enough for you. And how can you then think of that is North India, it is South India, and the question Western Ghat. Western Ghat is this area. It is a Western Ghat hilly area, very close to the Arabian Sea, the Western Ghat, continuously kept standing here, and northward we have Himalaya, of course. Let me now read that question. Western Ghats are formed due to the folding occurred during the collision of Indian plate with Eurasian plate. Western Ghat is far south. and Eurasia is far north. So this particular statement itself raising one doubt in our mind. Eurasian plate, Indian plate, these were hitting in north. You can say they can hit here. Suppose it is the Eurasian landmass, Indian land hit here, and it created the Himalayan formation, folded mountain here. So Himalayas formed by the Eurasian or Indian plate. That is very famous statement. So if you put here Himalaya, it would be right statement, but if it is Western Ghat, it is wrong. So this statement is incorrect. Western Ghat is not at all formed by the collision of Indian Eurasian plate. It is young folded mountain Himalaya which got formed in this manner. And if we even talk about how Western Ghat formed here, Western Ghat actually, like Vindhyachal, Satpura, some portion of Western Ghat got submerged through faulting in the Arabian Sea, and still Western Ghat rocks are beneath Arabian Sea. That's why Arabian Sea water is too deep. Good ports are developed there, and Western Ghat area is basically we even call by nature not folding, rather faulting. So which nature is there? Faulting nature rather than folding. Western flank of the Western Ghat got submerged in Arabian Sea, so it formed in different fashion, not folding, rather faulting, and it is not Eurasian Indian plate, it was Himalaya actually, so it is wrong statement. So number one statement is incorrect, so no A, no D. Now B and C option. Let me check the second statement here as well, though no need to read second. Third we come. Presence of Western Ghat is the main reason behind the drought proneness of the interior region of India. You know very well that Western Ghat के वजह से drought can develop. That is the third statement here. Let's check here. Western Ghat actually very significant kind of the hilly area, and if any monsoon winds coming from Arabian Sea, they hit here, and along that they go and they make cloud, they cause rain. But once this area reaching here, it is dry air, and it already losing the moisture to make the cloud on the western flank here. So it is rain shadow area. So what we are observing, Western Ghat definitely as a continuous hill blocking the southwest monsoon Arabian Sea branch and consuming the moisture on the western coast rather than eastern surrounding. So this wall is putting this area under less rain because dry air is reaching there. Rain shadow leeward side, and Marathwada, Telangana, Rayalaseema, Karnataka plateau, these are the famous rain shadow region, leeward side area due to the Western Ghat. If Western Ghat had not been here, then this area would have been little bit more rainfall. Western Ghat has decreased the chance of the less rain or more rainfall in Deccan plateau region. So that is correct statement. Drought prone interior, Rayalaseema, Telangana, ये सब drought वाले area हैं जो वेस्टर्न घाट की वजह से थोड़ा कम बारिश ले पा रहे हैं. दैट इज द थिंग हियर. सो थर्ड इज करेक्ट एंड वन is wrong here. So which option we can say here that if third is correct here, then 2 and 3 or not. Presence of Western Ghat main reason behind that. Then definitely the option will be C option, 2 and 3. Second option, Western Ghat act as a water divide. Yes, Western Ghat के इस और भी गोदावरी, कृष्णा, कावेरी is emerging. This side also we know Daman Ganga, Periyar river, Sharavati river, Kali Nadi river. So many rivers both side. Rainfall of this side falling into Arabian Sea by short rivers like Periyar river, and rainfall of this side Godavari is originating from which part? Trimbak area in Maharashtra near Nasik. Krishna is originating from Mahabaleshwar region. So Western Ghat is acting like a water divide. Both side water division like Vindhyachal, Satpura, Aravali. Western Ghat is also famous water divide of India. So this C is correct here. Let me go for the next topic as well. That the next topic here. The question is with reference to rainfall pattern in India. Again the rainfall climate topic, that is very conceptual portion, and if we focus upon that part, rainfall decreases from east to west in Gangetic plain. Then again you observe that Indian map here. Test this through the diagram and through map here, that you know very well it is our Ganga plain. And you know very well in Ganga we have the UP area also, Bihar area also, Bengal also. Which idea you have? Bihar, Bengal has more rainfall or UP, Western UP has more rainfall? Definitely you are better aware. More we go to the east, more rainfall we have. Bihar has more flood. Bengal also famous for rainfall. So Bay Bengal branch is actually causing moisture, and northeastern area, Bengal, Bihar area has more rainfall by Bay Bengal monsoon branch. But once Bay Bengal branch is reaching to western part of the Ganga plain, rainfall is declining. We go to UP, Haryana side, then rainfall continuously declining. Therefore, this statement east to west rainfall is decreases, correct statement. Bay Bengal branch movement. So this idea we have. Second, both southern western coast of India and parts of the northeastern region receive more rainfall. Actually, you know, northeastern region, part of northeast, Mawsynram, Cherrapunji, definitely very high rainfall. 200 centimeter, 300 centimeter high rainfall. So it seems to be correct. Even the western coastal area in south also high rainfall zone, Kochi, Thiruvananthapuram. So it is correct statement. Second is also correct. Northwest India, 1 and 2 correct. Now check 1, 2 and 3. Either this one or D. Then Northwest India is the only region having winter rains in the country. You know, Northwest region is the only region, only extreme statement. You may think twice if these kind of words keep words only. Then Northwest India is the only region having winter rain. Winter में तो बारिश यहाँ भी होती है कोरोमंडल कोस्ट पर by northeast monsoon. Northeast monsoon causing rain along Coromandel, that is Chennai area, that is Puducherry area, South Andhra area. You can say northeast monsoon causing Coromandel rainfall in winter. You know very well that Chennai experienced flood in 2015 in December. So winter rainfall in Coromandel coast as well. So you can say it is incorrect. So 1 and 2 is correct. So A option is correct here. Let me go to the next point here. That the point is the question is 7th number. Indian agriculture, consider the following statements. Indian agriculture, I will advise friends that this is the area you have to bank upon. Agriculture is gradually either mains or PT has become so important that in PT also you will be observing number of questions. So much current affairs about that as well. So everyday newspaper also the material is available. So you must know the basic things about the agriculture. In India, more than 80% of net zone area is practicing the rain-fed agriculture. Actually, rain-fed means monsoon-dependent, rainfall-based. And India is no more 1950s country. India since 1990, lots of progress even. And definitely we have large network of canal as well. We have also tube well irrigation in large area, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP. And South India, some portion also. Plus, you can say, we have the drip irrigation, sprinkler, tank irrigation, many more sources of the irrigation. And the government data also indicating approximately 48% part of India, if we talk about here, 48% part we talk about here, the 48% approximately is irrigated in present time, and 52% is rain fed. So this data had been true if it would have been the 1950s or 1960s. It is no more correct. We progressed and nearly half of Indian land is irrigated, slightly less than 50%. Approximately again 140 million hectare of net zone area, we have approximately 70 million hectare or 68-69 million hectare net zone area through the irrigated. Rest is definitely rain fed. So this is the wrong statement. First is wrong. So A and D is not possible. Then see the B and C option. Rice is a Rabi crop. Rice is so significant crop. Rice may India is second largest producer. Rice is water intensive crop, consuming too much water. Rabi season is winter season. Actually, rainfall is very less in winter. Monsoon season is having more rainfall. So this itself indicating wrong. But which India's largest producer in the world? It is also incorrect. China is the largest producer. So if partially this statement had been correct, even though we would have to check the entire statement. But this statement itself wrong, because which India is the largest producer? It is China that is largest producer. India afterwards. India is largest exporter of the rice, not the largest producer of the rice. And this statement, rice is Rabi, it is also incorrect. Rice is Kharif crop. Rice is famous Kharif crop. And winter season wali crop, the wheat or Rabi crop. Wheat is Rabi crop. Actually, you can say Kharif corresponding to monsoon season, rainy season. Kharif rainy. And Rabi season is nothing but winter season. So you can remember also R for rainy, R for rice, W for winter, W for wheat. So winter wheat, rainy rice, and rainy rice means Kharif season. So this is all, it is incorrect. Second is incorrect. So 1 and 2 incorrect. So 1 and 2 incorrect. It means 2 is also not possible. Only 3 will be the correct. C option. Automatically C. India is the largest producer as well as consumer pulses. In pulses we are largest producer, around 23 million ton. That is another thing, we import also because we are the largest consumer as well. We import from Myanmar, we import from Canada, we import from African countries like Mozambique and many more countries, Tanzania, etc. So India is largest consumer as well, largest producer as well in pulses. That is correct. India is largest producer of millet as well. India is largest producer in black tea as well. India has become largest producer of cotton in recent time after surpassing Chinese production. In cotton also in recent time India became number 1. Mango में भी India number 1 है. Number of fruits India is number 1. So I will suggest the important data through the economic survey, through the newspaper. In agriculture you must go through, and these questions will be easily solved if you keep an eye on the current affairs and the government data in this part, even the basic material you have. Then the next question, that is basically if we say the question number 8. With reference to the structure of the earth, consider the following statements. Crust is brittle in nature and continental crust is thicker than the oceanic crust. Then crust is brittle or not, you just draw one diagram here. That this diagram is very popular kind of diagram, that it is our earth crust, mountain, plateau, plain. It is oceanic crust, and this kind of crust we have continental crust, Sial type, and oceanic crust, Sima type. And then we have the mantle part, then we have the core part, core, mantle, and from mantle area, some portion of mantle also like the crust is solid area, but beneath that we have one layer of the mantle as ionosphere. I am sure that this basic idea interior of the earth in basic books also mentioned here. So just see this diagram, and in this diagram if I say that crust is brittle in nature and continental crust is thicker, definitely continental crust like mountain, it is thicker. So partially it is correct. Let's see crust is brittle. You know it very well, internal heat of mantle like in a ionosphere is trying to melt this part and creating the plate here. तो क्रस्ट टूट जाती हैं, ब्रेक हो जाती हैं, प्लेट्स में डिवाइड होती हैं. दैट इज ऑल्सो ब्रिटल इन नेचर. इट इज करेक्ट. सो स्टेटमेंट 1 इज करेक्ट. लेट मी चेक. 3 is not possible. C is not possible. Either A, B or D. Let me check the second statement. Mantle extend from the Moho discontinuity to a depth of 2,900 km. Actually, mantle is a kind of layer beneath the crust, and this line, this line, crust and mantle line we call Moho, and then mantle is going up to 2,900 km till core. So it is correct that Moho discontinuity, and between mantle and core this discontinuity we call Gutenberg discontinuity. Gutenberg mantle core or mantle outer core, and Moho discontinuity between crust and mantle. So that is correct here. Second statement is correct. Third, the upper portion of the mantle is called a ionosphere. Yes, a ionosphere in upper region, not uppermost. But upper region definitely, that is imparting the heat, creating the plates inside. Ionosphere is very hot area, and this hot area dividing plate in lithosphere area. So ionosphere is definitely the part of the upper mantle. It is correct. Second, third is correct. Outer core is in solid state while the inner core is in liquid state. Even one question I discuss the seismic wave question with you. कभी कभी दो क्वेश्चन आप देखेंगे एग्जाम में जिनके एक क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने दूसरा क्वेश्चन भी आप सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. सो यू मे रिवाइज दैट थिंग दैट हियर वी हैव क्रस्ट, मेंटल कोर, एंड इन इनर कोर और सेंट्रल पोर्शन प्रेशर इज सो मच फ्रॉम ऑल साइड दैट इनर कोर इज सॉलिड ड्यू टू वेरी हाई प्रेशर. क्रस्ट इज सॉलिड ड्यू टू आउटगोइंग रेडिएशन कूलिंग, बट इनर कोर इज सॉलिड वेरी हाई प्रेशर. सारा लोड अर्थ का सेंटर पे लाके लगता है. इनर कोर कांट बी लिक्विड डिस्पाइट हाईएस्ट टेम्परेचर. इट वुड बी बिहेविंग लाइक सॉलिड ड्यू टू द वेरी हाई प्रेशर. सो इनर कोर हियर गिवन लिक्विड स्टेट इज रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट. फोर्थ इज रॉन्ग. सो यू कैन से दैट द स्टेटमेंट वुड बी 1 and 2, 3. A is correct. A is correct. Let me go to another question here, and this question is the question number 9 here. With reference to the different types of cloud, consider the following statements. Cirrus are thin and detached cloud. Cumulus cloud exists in the patches. Some clouds they talked about. Then let me talk about here. Then these words, once they come, cirrus, cumulus, status, you need not to be too much worried regarding that. Rather, certain kind of terms are important here, that these are the Latin term, and Latin, Hindi, Sanskrit, these we basically consider that some similarities are there in the language as well. Cirrus, sir, sir, head, that we say, that is upper part. So cirrus cloud generally high region. So if this kind of thing has been mentioned, cirrus cloud, cirro, that is high cloud, quite high. And cumulus shape, cumulo shape. Cumulo is indicating the shape like that, cumulo, like cauliflower shape. Bottom flat होगा, ऊपर थोड़ा सा ऐसा होगा, cumulo shape. Status layer shape, strata layer. कहीं कहीं पर ऑल्टो भी आता है, इसमें तो नहीं दिया ऑल्टो. ऑल्टो इज मिडिल क्लाउड, नॉट हाई क्लाउड, मिडिल. You know, Suzuki Alto, Maruti Alto, it was deliberately launched to cater the middle class segment in India. Alto car, so middle class car, middle height wali. Zero, high cloud, high region. So you can say nimbo. This term in Latin, nimbus or nimbo, rain, जिनसे रेन हो सकती है, जिनमें पानी भरा हुआ है, rainfall base. After this basic knowledge, if you just see the cloud here, cirrus are thin and detached white cloud. Cirrus would be white and thin. You know very well, cirrus will be seen at more height, less height, more height, like that. 6 kilometer, 8 kilometer, 10 kilometer, and there you know, more the height, lesser the moisture. Moisture is more near the surface due to more gravity near the surface. But we go above, moisture is very less. The size of the high cloud is very small, and cirrus is quite high cloud, head, high cloud. So these are definitely thin white color, because in height temperature will be so low that water will be changed into ice. So it is correct statement, cirrus is white cloud and thin, detached, like that, detached. White lines दिखाई पड़ती है cirrus में. Then cumulus cloud exists in the patches and they have the flat base. Yes, cumulo shape, flat base. If we are standing here, for us only flat base is visible to us. It is correct here. So 1 and 2 both are correct. Stratus clouds are generally formed due to the mixing of air masses, different temperature. Again, air mass term came. Cold air mass, warm air mass meet, front formed. And you remember that if one kind of cold air mass come here, warm air mass, then warm air mass will rise above that. Then some kind of layering cloud, stratus clouds are formed by mixing here. धीरे धीरे लेयर बनती जाती हैं, warm air rise करती रहती है cold के ऊपर. Stratus, nimbo stratus, alto stratus, cirro stratus, like these clouds are formed. So it is also correct statement. Third, but fourth statement, nimbus clouds are shapeless masses of thin vapor. It is not having thin vapor, rather lots of water, because nimbus, rainfall. So it is full of water, more water vapor condensed here. So it is rather thick cloud causing rain. And this cloud also having, you can say, dark color cloud. Dark color, dense cloud, thick cloud due to more moisture condensed here, because it is causing rainfall, nimbus. So that is wrong here. So fourth is incorrect here. Fourth is here as well, fourth is here as well, but 1, 2 and 3 are correct these. So A is correct here. So some basic knowledge you can go for, and then you can apply through the diagram this part. Let me take up another question here as well. And if we say here the next question number 10 here, that when the lava makes the way that through the cracks and the fissure develop in the land, the solidifying almost perpendicular to the ground. Very easy, straightforward question. Kabhi kabhi aa jata hai. You need not to consume much time. You have to read completely, and then you have to think that certain, you can say, suppose it is our Earth surface. Some magma inside in the mantle ionosphere, it is emerging. Certain time this magma is not able to come up above the surface, not causing volcanic eruption, rather cool inside in perpendicular form. This we call dike, vertical wall. So dike is vertical wall. Question is here indication that magma is coming up and this is basically perpendicular to the ground. Actually lava भी कहना इसको गलत ही होगा. I would say it is magma, right word, because lava जब ऊपर आता है surface के ऊपर, so it is better that you use magma term here. And magma once cool, then dike. अगर magma horizontally cool हो जाए अंदर अंदर, ये sill कहलाता है, horizontal sill, vertical dike, and here perpendicular to the ground, wall like structure. Again and again hint is given. Stalk is a kind of large scale magma, this kind of way like stalk. If having different shapes, conduit is pipe होता है जो ऊपर तक निकल आता है. सपोज स्टॉक से निकल गया पाइप, जिस लावा निकल कर आ गया, इस तरह का पाइप हम कह सकते हैं कि conduit. बट यहाँ लावा ऊपर निकल के नहीं आ रहा है, अंदर अंदर intrusive volcanic landform that we call. So answer will be C option. C is correct here. And if we again see the next question, then next question is with reference to the Coriolis force, consider the following statements. It deflects the wind to the right hand direction in the northern hemisphere. Coriolis force के लिए बहुत easy ये statement होते हैं. Right hand deflection in northern hemisphere, left hand deflection in southern hemisphere. Coriolis force produced due to rotation of the earth. As earth is rotating, one impact is seen, and right hand deflection in northern hemisphere. Suppose any aircraft, bullet, any wind, all go to right hand side. From this side, this is the left hand deflection. So you can say that if we talk about here, that Coriolis force is the right hand in northern hemisphere and it is the left hand in southern hemisphere. And this Coriolis force, if we say along the equator, neither equator is not the part of northern hemisphere nor southern hemisphere, zero. तो ना राइट ना लेफ्ट, इक्वेटर पर कभी कोरियोलिस फोर्स दिखाई नहीं पड़ती है. राइट लेफ्ट होगा नहीं, इक्वेटर किसी का पार्ट नहीं, ना नॉर्दर्न का ना सदर्न का, ट्रांजिशनल लाइन है, जीरो डिफ्लेक्शन. एंड कोरियोलिस फोर्स इंक्रीज टुवर्ड द पोलर एरिया. So maximum rotation part we observe towards the polar area. But Coriolis force is also picked up by the speed of the object. Aircraft बहुत fast चलता है, ज़्यादा deflect होगा right में in northern hemisphere. And कोई slow object है, then it will be less Coriolis force. Even any object is static, no Coriolis force. Static object, no Coriolis force. A static object, no Coriolis. Coriolis केवल किस पे काम करता है? Fast moving object having more Coriolis impact. Right hand in northern, left hand in southern. Let's see the topic here. It deflects the wind to their right direction in the northern hemisphere. Correct statement. Then either option A or option B. Let's see the second statement. Higher the pressure gradient force, lesser will be the effect of the Coriolis force. Actually, you know, pressure difference will be too much. High pressure, low pressure. More the pressure differences will be, more the speed of the wind. More the speed, then more the Coriolis, because static object zero speed, zero Coriolis. Higher the speed, like aircraft, more the Coriolis impact. ज़्यादा deflection feel होता है, that we say. So lesser will be the effect of Coriolis force. It is wrong, because it will be more impact rather than the lesser. So it is wrong. Coriolis force is dependent upon the speed of the object. Coriolis force is inversely proportional to the angle of latitude. Angle of latitude 0 degree angle, equator. Then Coriolis is 0. Then जितना एंगल होगा 90 डिग्री पोल पर ये हाईएस्ट होगा. यहाँ इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल इज गिवन. इट इज रॉन्ग. प्रोपोर्शनल. So you can say it is also wrong. Coriolis force is maximum at the pole or high latitude. So this Coriolis force is proportional to the latitude. 0 latitude, equator 0 Coriolis, and higher latitude more Coriolis. So we can say that this statement is also wrong. Only A option is correct. And next question in this particular way, if we talk about the question here, then consider the following pairs of the river tributaries like Mahanadi, Manjira, Narmada. काफी क्वेश्चन आते हैं रिवर्स के ऊपर भी. रिवर्स के tributaries also they are not asking the question only on main rivers. Tributaries of Brahmaputra, tributaries of Indus. Suppose Galwan Valley, that is nothing but tributary of the Indus that remained in use. Shiok River, also tributary of Indus. River like Ram Ganga, the tributary of Ganga, river like Kaming, etc., river tributary of Brahmaputra. And similarly in Mahanadi and Narmada, you know it very well, Mahanadi river, in Indian map, you know Odisha river Mahanadi. And if we say the river Mahanadi, then this river Mahanadi, then Mahanadi river, Chhattisgarh, Odisha flow, and some rivers in Chhattisgarh meeting with Mahanadi, Sionath river, famous river of the Mahanadi, and also one more river, the Hasdo river. So I will suggest that in NCERT book as well, basic book also, it is mentioned Hasdo river, Sionath river, and in Odisha, river like Tel river, Ib river. So Shivnath river is mentioned here in Godavari. It is wrong statement actually. Godavari is not having Shivnath river. Shivnath is a famous tributary of Mahanadi. So third can't be. So either option A or option B. Narmada river has Hiran river. Narmada river in Madhya Pradesh. Actually one river, Hiran river in Madhya Pradesh. This river is Tava river. Tava and Hiran, two famous tributaries of the river Narmada. So it is correct. Second statement is correct. And if we talk about this Manjira river is tributary of Godavari. River Godavari, if you see in South India, Western Ghat se river Godavari aati hai. This is the Western Ghat. It is Trimbak, Nasik ke, that is the Godavari flow. One side river Venganga, Penganga, Varda, Pranhita river, that is also called as, and this side it is river Manjira. Manjira is the river of the Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, and this river is not the river. So Manjira is the tributary of Godavari. That is wrong statement here, not Mahanadi tributary, and Shivnath is a tributary of Mahanadi. So you can say the answer would be only 2. That is correct here. Answer is B. And if we now discuss here, what is my suggestion? Please go for basin approach, not the main river. For example, river Indus is going like that. Indus is going like that. One river coming from Siachen Glacier, Nubra. One river is also very close to that, Shiok river. So you can make short form, Shiok, Nubra, Galwan, G, then Jhelum, JH, then Chenab, then Ravi, then Bias, then Satluj, and then the meeting in Pakistan with the Indus. This diagram is Indus basin. So these simple diagram you can draw, and then you can revise before the examination night few diagram, key diagram. And if we focus upon the part here, the topic during the southwest monsoon period, having the rains for a few days, if rainfall fails to occur for more than 1 week, it is known as break in monsoon. Break in monsoon actually कब होता है? जब या तो विंड पैरेलल हो जाए, इंडियन लैंड पे ना पहुंचे, पैरेलल ही चलती रहे, और या इनका जो लो प्रेशर एरिया है वो कहीं नॉर्थ में शिफ्ट हो जाए, ITCZ एरिया. So let's check that break in monsoon will occur once ITCZ area is not meeting with the rain bearing storm. So you can say generally we observe that in Indian location, the map here, that during monsoon, which thing we observe? That low pressure area that we even call ITCZ or monsoon trough or monsoon trough. If it is in center, it will be leading to more rainfall. चारों ओर हवाएं आ जाएंगी बे बंगाल से, अरेबियन सी से. बट अगर ये शिफ्ट हो गया कहीं नॉर्थ में, शिवालिक के आसपास, तो ब्रेक हो जाएगा. सो मानसून ट्रफ से अगर मैच नहीं हो रहा है, कन्वर्जेंस नहीं हो रहा है, तो ये डेफिनेटली फेल हो जाएगा. तो करेक्ट है ये स्टेटमेंट. ओवर द वेस्टर्न कोस्ट ड्राई स्पेल, अगर ये पैरेलल चल रही है विंड पैरेलल टू द कोस्ट, यस, अगर ये मानसून की ब्रांच थोड़ी सी पैरेलल हो जाए, ऐसे हो जाए, देन it is no more hitting the land. So it is also correct. Option both C and this, both 1 and 2. The kind of question once you do with the important topic like monsoon, you will definitely be knowing these kind of things. And the next question, if we see in this perspective, then the question number 14, with reference to transhumance, consider the following statement. Transhumance is particular condition where the people migrate with their animal or livestock and this practice is seen in the nomadic people as well. But nomadic people once seasonally migrate, that winter may they go to valley side, and summer season once sufficient sunlight and mountain top also green, then they will go to the mountain side. So transhuman seasonal migration, yes, it is correct. If we talk about here, then the seasonal migration, of course, among the few pastoral communities, India में गुज्जर, बकरवाल, number of you can say in mountain area, you can say vertical transhumance implies movement between the higher pasture in summer and lower valleys in winter. Winter में ये थोड़ा साउथ में आ जाते हैं वैली में. Mountains are cold in winter, so they don't have you can say grass there, other ice, so it is also correct. Vertical transhumance. Gujjar and Bhotiya tribe of India practice transhumance. Not only Gujjar, Bhotiya, but also Bakarwal. So these kind of tribes of Himalayas actually go for that. So all three are correct here. So few kind of questions you will be easily getting straightforward. The D will be the answer here. And the next question, if we focus here, the question number 15 here. Consider the following statement regarding the criteria of the census. ये 2011 next census 2021 में जो अभी होने वाला है, it may take time due to the COVID condition. So let's see कि some changes in data as well. But before your exam, it is not possible that data would come. So we have to bank upon the 11 data. And here urban condition के लिए एक criteria town, census town. And what is that kind of thing here? If we talk about here, that the 5,000 number, that is criteria definitely. It is very specific, 5,000 people and population density 400 square kilometer, you can say person per square kilometer area, it is also correct. And 75% कम से कम मेल पॉपुलेशन के नॉन एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज में इन्वॉल्व हो, then it is also correct. So very dominantly the people must be engaged in other activities than the agriculture. That is the census town. All three statements are correct, that minimum. But what is the present time condition? Most of the villages also in India having the population density 400 or above. Even number of places in the villages nowadays we are observing that population has jumped to 20,000, 30,000 as well. Only this criteria, at least 75% male working population engaged in non-agricultural, that is making it town. So second is, you can say this criteria is still operating, but here we have to dilute. Let's see what happens in 2021 census. But according to 2011 census, all three correct. So 1, 2, 3 D option will be correct. And next question, the स्लैश एंड बर्न एग्रीकल्चर, झूमिंग इसको कहा जाता है नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी इंडिया में, पर इसके और भी नेम है. पामलू इन मणिपुर में कहा जाता है. एंड वी से हियर द काइंड ऑफ टर्म हियर फॉर दिस पामलू इन मणिपुर, द नेम ऑफ द झूमिंग. एक्चुअली झूम कल्टीवेशन आप जानते होंगे कि फॉरेस्ट एरिया को जलाया जाता है, कट किया जाता है. स्लैश एंड बर्न एग्रीकल्चर ऑल्सो वी कॉल. एंड शिफ्टिंग कल्टीवेशन भी इसको कहा जाता है, शिफ्टिंग कल्टीवेशन, बिकॉज सर्टन टाइम इन दिस पैच, देन दिस पैच, देन दिस पैच, देन दिस पैच, द पीपल इन ट्राइबल बेल्ट लाइक नागालैंड, मणिपुर और इवन द सेंट्रल इंडिया, दे रोटेट लाइक दैट. जैसे जैसे फर्टिलिटी डिक्लाइन होती है, कुछ साल के बाद दूसरे पैच में 5 जंगल काटेंगे, कट करेंगे, बंद करेंगे, देन अगेन पैच, झूमते रहते हैं, घूम घूम के झूमिंग. एंड इफ वी से that zooming cultivation or slash and burn agriculture or shifting cultivation is called Pamlu. That is factual information correct. Deepa is Chhattisgarh, it is also correct. Dahaiya is the name. Actually these are the name. Dahaiya or Bewar. And Podu Penda भी कहा जाता है आंध्रा में इसको. Podu is very famous term in आंध्रा, जहाँ पर कई ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन है. दहाइया एंड बेवार इन मध्य प्रदेश. ये चेना श्रीलंका में कहलाता है, चेना श्रीलंका. एंड यू कैन से लडांग इन मलेशिया, ये काफ़ी डेंस फॉरेस्ट के अंदर होता है. एज वेल एज हिमालय में इसको खील कहा जाता है. बट दिस इज गुड प्रैक्टिस, बैड प्रैक्टिस. इट इज़ नॉट ए गुड प्रैक्टिस एनी मोर, बिकॉज फास्टर डिपोलेशन ऑफ द soil due to the deforestation. Deforestation is not at all good in this way. So we don't require these kind of practices. Rather in mountain slope we require shifting cultivation के place पर terrace farming और contour plowing So इस तरह क्वेश्चन भी आपके एग्जाम में आ चुके हैं. टेरेस फार्मिंग, कंटूर प्लोइंग is advisable in place of selection 1 agriculture. So if we go for the next question, all three are correct here. All you can say 1, 2, 3, 4 all are correct here. And if we talk about here the next question, then with reference to the manganese ore, consider the following statement. Manganese is not found as a free element in nature. Actually, metals normally with impurity that we call ore. Ore is which form? Ore is actually impure form of the metal. Impure form, ore. So generally we find iron ore, hematite. We find manganese ore like pyrolusite or silomelane. So manganese is not found as free element. It is correct. Very few minerals in the world in free element form. Gold, platinum, ये pure form में मिल जाते हैं. ये impurity को पसंद नहीं करते, इसलिए gold का craze भी है, platinum का भी craze है. But manganese, iron, lead, all are having their ores. That is correct statement. Not found in free element. It is mainly found in Dharwad. Dharwad actually old rocks of India, quite old rocks, 2 billion year old. And generally old rock में, पुरानी रॉक में मेटालिक मिनरल ज़्यादा मिलते हैं. धारवाड़ मीन्स मेटालिक मिनरल रिच. मैग्नीज मेटालिक मिनरल. इट इज करेक्ट, यू कैन से. फर्स्ट सेकंड करेक्ट. उड़ीसा इज द लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ मैग्नीज. इट इज करेक्ट. केबी के एरिया, कालाहांडी, बोलानगीर, कोरापुट रीजन. उड़ीसा काफ़ी मिनरल में नंबर 1 चल रहा है. आयरन ओर में नंबर 1 है इंडिया में. मैग्नीज में नंबर 1 है. बॉक्साइट ऑल्सो नंबर 1. क्रोमाइट ऑल्सो नंबर 1. दिस उड़ीसा इज नंबर 1 ओवरऑल इन इंडिया. कोल भी काफ़ी है झारखंड के बाद. सो उड़ीसा इज वेरी सिग्निफिकेंट स्टेट इन इंडिया. सो ऑल 3 स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट. डी इज करेक्ट. सो यू कैन से दैट if we focus the question number 17 and rather 18, if we talk about here question number 18, which of the following countries surround the Black Sea? Actually ये भी बहुत पॉपुलर क्वेश्चन है. द ब्लैक सी, Caspian Sea, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, South China Sea, around that which famous countries are there, and where some rivers are falling into Black Sea or Caspian Sea, because these areas are very important area. Europe one side, Asia one side, Black Sea region, Caspian Sea region. So Black Sea is, if I talk about here, that this Black Sea region, Black Sea, actually in the world map, if I say it is Africa, and this side the European area, and one sea is Black Sea here. It is Black Sea. And this side of Black Sea, Russia is there. One side is Ukraine as well. And one side of Black Sea, if you talk about Turkey, is there. And one side of Black Sea, Azerbaijan is there. One side of, you can say the Black Sea, the kind of area like Romania, like Bulgaria. बट इसमें एक जो दे रखा है कि इसमें तुर्कमेनिस्तान भी है. एक्चुअली ब्लैक सी को अगर आप बड़े पर्सपेक्टिव में देखें, साउथ में टर्की वेरी फेमस कंट्री ऑफ ब्लैक सी. तो टर्की इज साउथवर्ड. नॉर्थवर्ड यूक्रेन वाला पार्ट है ये. एंड थोड़ा वेस्ट में जाएंगे आप यूरोप की ओर, बुल्गारिया एंड रोमानिया. एंड दिस साइड थोड़ा ईस्टवर्ड देखेंगे तो एक आपको ब्लैक सी के आसपास एक जॉर्जिया दिखाई देगा. जॉर्जिया है बेसिकली, नॉट अजरबैजान, दैट इज जॉर्जिया. एंड दिस इज रशिया. सो दीज आर द 6 countries we can say: Ukraine, Turkey, north and south, westward this, and Russia, Georgia, eastward, Black Sea. बट कन्फ्यूज़न क्यों होता है? कैस्पियन सी से हम मैच करने लगते हैं. कैस्पियन सी इज अनदर वाटर बॉडी जिसको रशिया भी टच कर रहा है. कैस्पियन सी इज द लार्जेस्ट सलाइन वाटर लेक. एंड कैस्पियन सी, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट, कैस्पियन सी के साउथ में ईरान है. एंड दिस साइड नॉर्थवर्ड रशिया, दिस साइड कजाकिस्तान, दिस साइड तुर्कमेनिस्तान. तुर्कमेनिस्तान इज टचिंग कैस्पियन सी. एंड वन साइड अजरबैजान. So we can say these countries are surrounding the Caspian Sea. So Turkmenistan is touching Caspian Sea, not the Black Sea. So Turkmenistan is incorrect, but Bulgaria is definitely from European side, Ukraine from northern side of the Europe, and Romania also from the European side. So 1, 3, 4 other countries touching here: Russia, Georgia as well, and Turkey as well. So 1, 3 and 4 That is the B option. B is correct. So I will advise that important area का मैप बना लें सिंगल सिंगल. ब्लैक सी का ये वाला, कैस्पियन सी का ये वाला, साउथ चाइना सी, रेड सी, which countries are nearby that. It will be very useful later on before examination preparation or revision part actually. And next last question we will also take up here, and this question is with reference to green agriculture project, consider the following statements. Actually it is current affairs based question. If you have gone through the current affairs practice July 1 2020 में, July 2020 one project was launched by you can say Government of India Agriculture Department, and here green agriculture, ये AG means agriculture based question, important one definitely. And as green, it means it could be linked with carbon dioxide, sustainable agriculture, reducing the carbon dioxide. It is correct. Sustainable use here. It will be implemented in Mizoram, Rajasthan. It is factual information. 5 स्टेट में इसको लॉन्च किया गया, मिजोरम में, राजस्थान में, मध्य प्रदेश. It is also correct. Department of Agriculture. Agriculture is basically the department where agriculture topics. So agriculture cooperation and farmer welfare is definitely this department is nodal or executive agency. But इसको fund किया जा रहा है global environmental facility के through. Funding इसकी बाहर से भी आएगी facility और EF. So these all 3 are correct. If you have the good current affairs, you can also click it. So here friends, I will say that questions in its appearance look difficult, but if you consider through the diagram, through the map, through the, you can say the examples in your mind, then you can decode, you can handle these questions. And next IAS platform, PT through questions will be, you can say in this context very important, you can say the development, where you will realize that questions will be discussed in detail, and also make sure that you commit minimum mistakes there so that you can qualify this exam. And I will myself assure you that practices like that will help a lot during the exam, because exam is not at all mugging up the answers and then producing it. Conceptually you are sound, then you will be remain in calm and cool minded state. Otherwise in examination mode you will be pressurized. So what would be the best approach? That before the exam, too much practice with experts will help a lot. Thank you very much.